for the intro and like
Yeah,
the
it's
music?
about 15 seconds. Yeah,
All right.
it's a whole song.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay. Give it a couple more seconds and then.
Yeah. We can start talking about some bullshit. Yeah. They're not even ready. They're not even ready for us to do a podcast, dude. We might do a third episode. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god. 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 Oh my god, guys. It's What's Up with the Minutes, episode 3. Episode 3. Can you believe it? We're here. We've arrived. We're here. We've arrived. Okay. Guys, how you doing?
All right. I'm good.
I'm wonderful. Yeah.
It's fantastic news. I'm glad to hear it. How's your day been?
I was being hella lazy today because of I got the day off for the equinox for the first day of fall. So you know the vibes. I'm just chilling.
What? We don't have that here, I don't think. I've never heard of anyone talk about the equinox as like a public holiday. Is that like just there, or?
I mean, as far as I know, we have a lot of holidays that are not like kind of like government type of holidays or like we have like Mountain Day and Ocean Day and Be Kind to Old People Day and you know,
It's kind of fire.
Be Kind to Old People Day. That's sick. Yeah.
That was last week.
We can never have that in America.
Last weekend was Be Kind. Yeah, no, Americans are never kind to old people. It's fuck America. It's fuck old people every day.
unless we're voting for our political leaders and shit. And it's all old people only.
Hey, listen. Depending on what's said on this podcast, I might get abducted.
You're gonna be put on a list.
If I disappear, y'all know what happened.
Yeah, it's because he's Antifa. He's Antifa, and they're now even though there's no actual organization, they're a terrorist organization.
The imaginary terror organization.
All right, Traders, how you doing?
I'm good. I ain't do shit today because it's my last off day, so I'm just savoring it. But I'm good.
Good. Hell yeah! Shout out to savoring it, dude. It's needed. But no, I've been off work more than usual, and I'm just started uni again. And I keep on thinking about how great it is to not have a job. Like I miss being unemployed so bad.
Yeah, being unemployed sounds awesome until you're unemployed.
Yeah, we need to create like a kind of like utopia of sorts where we don't need to work and then we can just like record podcasts all day. I think that'd be good for us.
So we should become landlords.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was saying. That's exactly what I was saying. In other news, me, Kosey, I'm doing well because I've released an EP, guys. I've released an EP. I've put out music.
Yeah.
I put out music and shit. Except to Black Joy Volume 1 out now on every streaming platform you can possibly imagine, dude. That shit's even on Tidal. That shit's even on Tidal. You know what I mean?
And we hate Jay-Z.
We hate Jay-Z, but we got that shit on his platform, man. We out here. We did a listening party in the Rap Music Club podcast Discord. That was fucking sick. That was fucking sick as fuck. I did an interview with Stilo, OG Homo. You know how it is on the podcast.
You everywhere right now.
That was amazing. I did an interview with Dan from Free Music Empire. That one's dropping on the eventual. Check that shit out too. You know what I mean? Shout out K Diggy. We out here. We doing the thing. Yeah. Check out the music, man. I feel like it's kind of cool. But pay me as well.
Very dope.
Give me money in Bandcamp and shit.
For sure. Very, very dope, and congratulations. The project is phenomenal, and I absolutely love how your personality comes across in it. It is a very kind of bright and wonderful listening experience that makes me feel pretty damn good when I turn it on. So yeah.
Thank you very much. Hell yeah. Shout out to making music and shit. That shit took me 2 years. So if you didn't like it, I'd be pissed off. Anyways, that aside, do you guys want to get into the podcast? Like, kind of talk about the topics and shit like that. We might have to have a
let's lay out the three topics and then go into the first one. Yeah.
Okay. Three topics today. We got JAY ELECTRONICA. He's a problem. We need to talk about it. Neoliberalism in hip hop. It's a problem. We need to talk about it. Freestyling in hip hop. People don't freestyle no more. It's a problem. We need to talk about it. So let's get right fucking to it.
Yeah.
Traders.
So I had the misfortune of coming up with a topic to talk about Jay Elec and the 50 albums he's dropped over the week. Before we get started, I should do this.
Hey.
There we go.
Oh, is that R. Kelly?
There
That's what's up. Yeah. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah,
All right,
open up
so
your third eye. Open up your third eye.
Jay
You got
Elec,
microplastics in your third eye.
the famous absent father of hip hop, he randomly decided to drop. How was it like 4 or 5?
There's
4
more
or
coming,
5
apparently.
albums. Some of them are EPs. He claims that he's dropping 19, or he turned in 19 to Jay-Z. We'll see
That's
how
a
that
significant
pans
amount.
out.
I hope none of them drop.
I personally think, after listening to these projects, I think these projects are unreal. They're unreal. And by that, I mean, this shit feels like a fever dream. Listening to him say the most random bullshit.
Oh no, Mr. Does?
No audio, but yeah, it is quite surreal. I don't know. I didn't listen to the albums.
None of them?
I turned them on. I turned on one of them, the one with all the the sisters in Islam with all the I turned on one of them and I was listening to that, and then I thought, okay, cool, nice skit, good beats, good raps. But I've also been a person who has never been on the Jay Electronica is the person I need to tap into train. Same way I was just like not a huge Big L guy. Like I liked it, it's fine. But with Jay Electronica, he became like this huge force in hip hop that people were so enamored with for his ability. And I was like, good raps. I fuck with it. But
we back like nothing happened.
Yeah, no, keep talking. Yeah. I mean, for me, I'm gonna say my little piece on Jay Electronica real quick. For me, it's like I remember, well, not remember, but Exhibit C was one of those songs that just appeared and was something that I was listening to a lot because that guy can rap. He has an amazing rap voice, and he can make a crazy Jet Just Blaze beat sound hype because it is hype. You know what I mean? So you're listening to that, and it's like, okay, word. Does this guy have any other music? No. The answer was just suddenly no when I found him. And then I remember like looking it up, and then everyone's like lauding this guy. It's like, oh shit, when he eventually does drop, it's gonna change hip hop. This guy he's gonna, like, the thing that Trey said about the absent father of hip hop is so emblematic of how I perceive him, because it's like everyone looked to this guy for guidance for so long, and he was never that guy. And he was never the person who would be the guide we needed.
Yeah.
Or nor could anyone really be. But it's also just really interesting to me to watch the kind of hype unfold on itself, and for me at least to really realize this guy has nothing of value for me to listen to, especially these recent projects. Just nothing.
Sure. So
you want to take over again?
Like from a certain perspective, I have seen like a lot of opinions that like they never got the Jay Elec hype, which is understandable in some respects, but also like listening to these projects, I understand why people like him. I understand why people like him. He raps good. He has a good voice. I feel like the disconnect is with the stuff he puts into his lyrics. Like, I feel like the reason people fuck with it so much is that it's like vaguely reminiscent of what like the idea of what hip hop used to be. But to me, currently, it just feels like a mashup of fucking incoherent ideologies. I'm sounding like Mega, but it like none of it made sense. He like fucking drops you into like random Farrakhan snippets. He'll rap for like fucking 8 bars, and then he'll do a fucking AI voice that's like fucking quoting somebody from Twitter. I was initially unsure like what projects were like recent and what weren't, because like a lot of this was like way older stuff, like a mixtape or something like that. But listening, you can tell that it is recent because he has very terrible attempts at trying to reference to like fucking new shit that just like comes off very flat. I just feel like it doesn't make a lot of sense. That's where I'm coming from. How many other projects did you guys listen to?
I listened to all of the ones that dropped, other than Act 1, because I heard Act 1 already.
Maybe like half of one. I think I told you, like, I'm not into it. I'm not.
What did you think from what you heard, Mega?
I thought it was good. I understand exactly why people like these things and why they think he's dope. And I also understand why there is, immediately we have to kind of position him with certain ideology because he uses audio snippets. Also, he's, notoriously been associated with those ideologies in some ways that are not so clean, like the way that he like it brought so much controversy to No Name's album for having him on the album, because he does come from the kind of post post Elijah Muhammad, the Farrakhan school of Nation of Islam kind of ideology, coupled with this black capitalism, and it makes for some things that are kind of strange. As far as the No Name thing goes, he was rapping on a Hitler Wears Hermes project and thought he was doing a lyrical miracle when he said he was Jadolf Spittler. But if you just Google it, it's like, wow, he's saying he's Hitler. And he does have, like the Nation of Islam often, have a lot of things that seem extremely anti-Semitic. And some of them are very, very much anti-Semitic. But coming from that culture myself, as a 5%er, I always understood it as kind of the elites are also controlling this, and it is more of a anti-Zionist position than it is disliking your Jewish neighbor, or somebody that raps on like next to you that happens to have a Jewish mom. And I was born guy. I was a 5%er. That was kind of the first thing that I really came in with knowledge of self. And so I'm intimately familiar with all the shit that a lot of these guys kick. I've got homies who are still in the Nation of Islam. I build with God sometimes. I know them. I've been using the name Mega for majority of my life. I became God body when I was God when I was 15, and I still use Mega. But as you can see now, I don't necessarily freak the same shit. The parts of it that I have a hard time with are exactly the parts that a lot of people feel are deep, dense, and kind of desirable about the work beyond just rapping. People like black folks especially love all of that Nation of Islam, religious dogma, the black man is God shit. They absolutely do. And it's been so pervasive in our culture that most people don't even know where it really comes from or what it means, because the people who are the champions of that and the faces of it are fucking people like Lord Jamar, who's a fucking idiot. So like straight up, peace to the gods and the flat earths. Like, he's really an idiot. And there's a lot of great qualities about the Nation of Islam, but I can't really take it all that seriously. And when I hear Jay Electronica, and I guess he was like dating a Rothschild, and like some of the shit he's talking about, to me it feels like a very stilted, like, I'm hella smart, I'm hella on my deen, I know what's going on. But for me, it's like, the reason they're conspiracy theories is like everything's a conspiracy theory when you don't know how shit works. And it's just kind of boring to me, in the same way that kind of Earth Gang gets boring to me when they do that stuff, or the way Planet Asia gets boring to me when they do that stuff, or the way that I have to look at Charlemagne the God when he's just being Charlemagne the God. It just kind of bothers me. But he's good at rapping. I don't care. Like, just
I think good at rapping. Amount of like, my problem with Jay is also that is like he's good at rapping, but then it stops there for me entirely. Like, he's good at rapping, he has the good voice, but then anytime I try to like read anything he's saying, it is all smart dumb shit. It's all the way that someone who thinks they're intelligent would put forward an idea, being like, he has like all of these quotes where you can be like, oh, if I think about that for 10 seconds, then I can think about it for 10 seconds. And that's it. That's the only place that takes you. You know what I mean? And then he'll like, at the same time as doing that, you can think about it for like 10 seconds and then it goes things. He'll also then like just throw in all the NOI like iconography. And to a point, it just loops itself around over and over again until it becomes like a parody of itself. Like that one of the joints that Mega didn't check out. I think Trey, you probably did. He says like, he starts the song saying "Big Stepper, Farrakhan rapper," and it's like, are we serious right now? You know what I mean? Is that
bars? Bars.
I think Trey's gone again, by the way. But is that what is that useful as a like thing to be pushing forward as in your art? And I just in no way see that as the case. Just in no way at all.
It's like for me. For me, a big part of like the skits that it, to me, it's like when you got a buddy who's like they take a little piece of information and then they're like, nah, this is what I'm talking about, hold on, watch this video and then it's going to explain my position, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I was trying to say. Here's the information, like, here goes,
and they
you know
say
what I mean?
they
Like,
control everything.
yeah.
It's always
them,
they. Those people. I feel like less on the ideology side, but like just like from a music perspective, he is great at rapping, but he somehow manages to like not play into those strings on this project, because you can really hear why it took him 13 years to make a fucking album, because like from
he has no idea
like it's like musically he doesn't know how to start songs, he doesn't know how to finish songs, like shit meanders for too long. It's just like really disjointed in its ideas. And I just feel like, I don't know, I don't see the hype that other people see in it, even though I wanted to, because like I didn't actually intend to go into this like from a hating perspective, even though I knew I more than likely would agree with the shit he was saying, like him fucking talking about transvestigating the fucking French president's wife, dumb shit like that. But
I missed that. I missed that. Wait,
he did. No, yeah, he did. He's on the song where he says, Candace Owens, tell us more, which I assume is in reference to Candace Owens being like fucking Netanyahu killed Charlie Kirk. But he has a line shouting her out for like fucking, she like was calling out the French president's wife and like, oh, she's actually a man, dumb shit like that. And bigging her up for that. It's just like, it just makes no sense on like a lyrical perspective or a musical perspective. And he's doing random shit like fucking using like the Creed edit beat, which got taken down because like it dead ass sounded like he just like fucking went on YouTube, got the fucking MP3 converter and just started recording shit. Yeah. And whenever he ran out of ideas, he was like, "Oh shit, put a Farrakhan fucking snippet here."
Yeah, that song specifically, I remember like being quite confused by it because that beat. You probably don't. You definitely didn't hear this, Mega, and you wouldn't even know what we're talking about in terms of the actual song if you did hear it. It's this beat, and it's a pretty good beat. And I remember hearing it like last year sometime. And like the first context I heard it in was like a flip of Kendrick verse put on top of it, and it's like, is Trey gone again? Crazy. But yeah, then the as Trey said, he's just rapping over this like really popular beat right now. Like it's not an underground beat to be kind of just throwing in your project. It literally sounds like, how can I kind of pique the ears of the lowest common denominator right now? Let me put this beat that everyone knows on it, and I'll just rap normally over it, and then have nothing to say, and then because I have nothing to say in any of the songs.
And then he has the UFO snippet at the end. There's a nigga just for 3 minutes talking about UFOs.
The kind of thing you said about the audio snippets to prove his point is prevalent on all of these projects. Every single one of the projects has, majority of the time, Jay Electronica isn't even there. He's on the project for like 10% of it, and they're short projects. So
yeah, and it's crazy because like the best ones I found were the ones that like the Act 1, which was like just an old mixtape he had. Like he sounded fresh as hell on there, and like he was still saying bullshit on there, but like like from a like effort perspective, like guys like him, they can put in like certain levels of effort. And I feel like the newer shit comes off as low effort, and like he isn't doing it because he's hungry. It feels like he just wanted to do some shit just because.
This is a problem. Like, there's so many cats that espouse this, like they're like the smartest cat in the room full of a bunch of dumb people and shit. they're like the smartest cat. Like, you know, I used to when I was young, I used to be like, yo, RZA must be really smart. Like RZA, you know, and in a lot of ways he is. In a lot of ways, he's brilliant. Same thing with the Ghostface. In a lot of ways, they're intelligent and they're great and they're talented and wonderful people. But the things that I was looking to their music for, to kind of understand knowledge of self, to understand the evolving social conditions that Black folks and in America, like people experience in the world, and connection with spirituality, I started to find out that they're very shallow with that shit. It's like somebody, it's like they only follow like this oral tradition of hearing somebody say it to them, and they're like, word, and then they take little bits of that and then they just continue pushing that. They never actually do any of the legwork that you would need to actually call yourself a teacher or something. And Jay Electronica to me has always been pretty corny for that, and it's one of the reasons I don't really listen to RZA. I can't handle hearing RZA talk about anything. It's
Yeah.
always just like, damn, bro, like you are my most disappointing hip hop hero, and you're not even doing that much fucked up shit. But I thought I was joining a fraternity of righteous black men who wanted to change the world with their politics and uplift the community. And while the Nation of Islam and the Supreme Mathematics function those ways in the past, in 2025, you are just tremendously unequipped to have discussions about anything serious.
Yeah.
Like even black shit, like even UFOs, you are just tremendously unequipped. And it's just, you know, I just knew that I wouldn't need to sit with a Jay Electronica album. Shout out to him, but it's
feel
just,
like
you know, I'm sorry.
You've still added a buzz to the conversation. You've heard none of it. You've heard what, like half of a song?
I mean, if you hear one of them, you hear like fucking.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I listened today. I listened to at least half of the album, but again, like half of an album, and I've heard all of his work in the past, even the Jay-Z thing that came out a couple years ago. Just out of curiosity, it just took me a while to figure out that, like, yeah, I don't need to care about this at all anymore. Like, I'll never listen to a Kendrick, I mean, a Kanye West project again, unless somebody's like, yo, he's really changed. Actually,
this is the one, dude.
Yeah, he's been reading. Like, you know, it'd have to take something really extraordinary for me to jump into that. And Jay Electronica, 19 projects, to me, that just sounds like at least 8 of them are, you could fill 8 of them with sound clips of other cats talking on a YouTube media playlist. And then the other half of it is probably going to be pretty mid with a few sprinklings of lyrical miracleism that is like things that people like.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't expect much out of rappers as far as like fucking giving me the good word or anything. But certain rappers definitely position themselves to convey that. And I find as I get older, their analysis of the world is shallow, and some could say it's liberal at best. So I think we should pivot to Kosey.
Yeah, that's kind of my topic is neoliberalism in hip hop. And kind of the way I got to that is through a similar lens as what Trey was saying, is a lot of artists that kind of have an expectation on them to be political, their politics ending up being something that I don't align myself with, and I don't see as very like fruitful in its rhetoric. Kind of what sparked this off for me was the reaction to Alchemist, like recently with the Zionist allegations, and then him coming through and being like, I'm not a Zionist, I'm just not an activist. And kind of that, the reaction to that being a kind of damnation of Alchemist as a result of being like politically liberal, which was interesting to me because I would find it harder for me to name a rapper who isn't than for me to be like a rap like this. There is a significant amount of rappers who would parrot similar ideas to Alchemist, but due to the wow, I'm messing. Wait, give me a sec. Let me recalibrate. Let me recalibrate.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, I think.
Go on.
No, I think that like as time goes on and like as like we grow as people, it starts to feel like the music you consume, depending on where you look, but like on a surface level, the music you consume just like fails to like properly articulate what like we're saying with like very important shit in the world going on. And it's a weird balancing act trying to find out like what do I expect from people just on a human level, and like what do I just like expect from them as artists and like what they try to convey in their music.
Yeah, I think especially with a genre like hip hop that has often been lauded as like a politically revolutionary thing. Whether that is the case or not is a different conversation, but like so frequently people will kind of parrot the idea of hip hop being inherently political and that being a kind of driving force of it. And then time and time again, you'll see the people within hip hop who are politically inclined have politics that aren't necessarily progressive for the people that they're performing to or for. in a sense. And it's like what I was re-listening to as a result of like this topic I brought up. I was re-listening to like Black Star and like a lot of conscious rappers, and you'll listen to conscious rappers, and you'll listen to this Black Star album, and you're like, oh, okay, cool, these are nice politics. Talib Kweli at the end of that verse, he said, "No vindication of manhood necessary," and that's great. And then you listen to the closer in that song, they're saying the F slur and shit towards these rappers. So it's like we have contradictory views within our conscious spheres that are widely coming across to end up being liberal ideas, while presenting themselves as if they're revolutionary and are going to completely blow the top off of your mind for they're creating some new brain link to some shit. I don't know, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, the conversation around the term neoliberalism is pretty difficult because there's a lot that comes with that. And as you're saying, historically, Black music has been a kind of crystallization of the Black experience, and it's always tied to political because we are all political subjects, and Black people have been on the the shit end of the stick over the last few centuries. So hip hop music, like any other art, is a vehicle to express those grievances, and they still are in a way, but the limits of the horizon have shifted because nobody sees beyond capitalism anymore. No one knows nobody knows the limit beyond capitalism, so nobody talks about that. All of the West politics and all of us, even all three of us and Woods and everybody, we're all neoliberal subjects because we exist and function within this sphere, this mode of production, this ideological superstructure that only really allows us to function as these type of people. I think one of the easier ways to describe like neoliberalism is like a simple definition would be that it's the general idea that society functions best when people and institutions within it work or are shaped by market principles. Now, most people, when they hear the term neoliberal, they think conservative, liberal, Democrat, right wing, left wing, but every single president in our lifetimes, and going back into Richard Nixon, and most probably like largely exemplified by Reagan, have taken this neoliberal turn in economics. And neoliberalism is like the defeat of the working class resistance to capitalism. It is the privatization and the marketization of government functions, rendering it to the private sector. It's the destruction of commons. It's destruction of public goods. It's postmodern. It's incredulity towards meta-narratives. There's all these things, and little things like we're talking about hip hop music right now. The Telecommunication Act, which was done by Bill Clinton, was hugely a product of neoliberal economics that completely changed the way that we have been receiving media for your entire lives. They purchase up all the things. They own all the radio stations. They have those things. And neoliberalism is the way that we interact with objects in society. And so every time that, like, it's no surprise that Jay-Z in 2023 is like, well, I thought y'all liked capitalism. I thought y'all was proud of me for being a millionaire. Now y'all saying capitalism is bad. It's because of the changes in our society that have contributed to that. Even the Nation of Islam, in the direction that they went after the death of Elijah Muhammad, Louis Farrakhan took it in a very capitalist way that it was not before. It's like neoliberalism is the changes how we perceive, how we interact. It turns us all into products. We are all trying to be the boss. We're all trying to make money. Everything is time. Like, these neoliberal ideas radically change what it means to be human, and it tries to perfect the human as a entrepreneur of his own human capital responsible for their personal development. And you must turn everything you do into that in order to interact with the world. Like, you must be a propaganda brochure. You must always be working to make money. And it changes the impetus. It changes and puts the responsibility of the problems not on the institutions or the government running things. It places it solely on the individual. And it's just like, I told you guys that this is a huge
topic,
kind
yeah.
of topic, and
Yeah,
I
yeah,
could
yeah.
do a TED talk on it. Like, I'm barely just scratching the surface of these
Mhm.
things. Like, but you know, the civil rights movement was not neoliberalism. Neoliberalism also adds to, you know, identity politics and the way that things have changed. This symbiotic relationship with neoliberalism and postmodernism is creating the conditions that all of us are living in now. And it makes it so all of our favorite rappers and artists are functioning within that. Name 5 rappers who are not like, who outwardly are anti-capitalists beyond just rhetoric and say things like socialism, communism, or actually talk about any of those things, because the horizon is fucking gone. Most of these dudes are Bernie bros. Most of these people are radical, identitarian, essentialist politics
Bernie
people
Bros is
who
crazy.
want you to fucking like have HR meetings to make you less racist, and puts the responsibility of being anti-racist on the individual and not on the
Instead of the system.
institutions. It's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
strange. It's very, very strange. And it's like, I feel like putting on the they live goggles and then just seeing everybody who's fucking just biting and eating and eating. And hip hop is one of the, like, mainstream hip hop is one of the most like overtly strong examples, even more than Elon Musk fucking, you know, Instagram. Hip hop is overtly within capitalist realism. The shit that they value, the shit that they talk about, the approach to it is beyond radical politics in any way other than being pro-black. And we all know that just because you pro-black or you want black people to have you know, their own land and ethno nation or black capitalism, we know that's not the real path of liberationary politics. But people tend to think that, damn, Kendrick Lamar got Uncle Sam up there, look at what that says about America, my nigga. Like, oh, that's the goat, that's the, you know, and that's good and all, but like, if you can look at these things through a materialist lens and you can go back to the world before this change, you could look at early movies that were starting to adopt this ideology. Spike Lee, Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, movies that took like the squad, you know, the American, the squad style views of the problems of urban decay, and it puts like this empathetic scope on the underclass, but not the consequences of joblessness, deindustrialization, CIA, Thatcher, Reagan, all these neoliberal economics destroying society's social safety net. And we start to see this pathology develop in those communities, a pathology developing in black communities with the rise of this. It's like the legacy of slave codes. Like, now so much of the narrative, the way it arises, is like, even if you add Yakub and what Jay Electronica is talking about, the end result is the extant problem of the black community is black people themselves. It's a culture of depravity that centers that just cannot function within the world.
Yeah,
it's all y'all fucking up.
I think
go on, Trey.
it's I think
My
it's
bad.
interesting, like
That's cool.
watching people like just like on a surface level. I think it's interesting watching like people in a mainstream sense feel more alienated with the art, and like they're describing the feeling of like the alienation and how like this stuff becomes, there's a bigger disconnect between like the actual reality of the stuff they're hearing in the music and how it's delivered to them, how it's conveyed to them. And I feel like a lot of people have the ability to see it. They know what it looks like, but they don't really have the language for it, because I struggle to have the language for it sometimes. And like we tend to look for that stuff in like fucking artists or in like fucking different celebrities and shit, which I don't know. I feel it does feel like very unproductive at times, and I find myself like, the more I see things play out in that way, I'm like, this doesn't feel like the best use of time or the expectation that should be set.
Yeah, and it's like I remember it was something really interesting. Like when Jay-Z was going on his big thing where he was like, I thought you guys wanted me to succeed. I thought you guys wanted like when he's saying like capitalist was the new slur or whatever. Like all of that is born from him having this consistent like oh, okay, so I should just accrue more. I should just accrue more. When I rap about being rich, people love when I'm rapping about being rich and how I'm hustling and how I'm putting drugs in my community. People love that. So then, kind of cyclically, that became his viewpoint is
Right.
so I need to succeed in this way to get mine, and then through whatever the fucking trickle down economics or of whatever the fuck, eventually black people will succeed off of me succeeding. You know what I'm saying? So it's like for him to get to a point where he's now seeing all of these people come with the anti-capitalist ideas, and yada yada yada. It's that dissonance and not being able to explain the problems is exactly there. Is how is Jay-Z someone who grew up hustling, who grew up needing to hustle, who then succeeded in hustling and continued until he didn't need to hustle anymore? How are you going to ask that person for ideas on how to get us out of a society where hustling is required? And
Right.
why? And how could that possibly be the person that we would want to look to get that information from? That's just something that I find quite interesting. Is like it's super easy for someone to expect someone they look up to have a reason that you're looking up to them, when in actuality you just decided you looked up to them.
Right.
Yeah,
And
in an oddly parasocial way. Like I feel like as listeners, we tend to like see some of our experiences in these artists, which they are real experiences. They are shared experiences at usually like towards the beginning of an artist's career. Like they are shared experiences on a base level, but at a certain point, like there starts to form a disconnect. And I lost my bigger point, but yeah, I feel like that's what's tending to happen over time.
Yeah.
You know, like the thing is that this is so pervasive within our society. There's very few things that allow you to exist outside of it. There's very few things that are that not connected to the neoliberal economic term. All of our geopolitics, everything is connected to this, and ideologies have been emerging from that. The prosperity gospel, you know, like respectability, pull your pants up politics. These things are they're not innocuous things that were just ideas and change the world. They are actually the things that provide the scaffolding for the means of production in our society. And the means of production, our relationship with these objects has changed the way that we view things and how we view ourselves. You know, you can't waste time. You got to be active. You got to make money. You have to have a side gig. You have to do that. Anything you do, all your hobbies must be turned into something to monetize, because that is the impetus behind the neoliberal subject. You're always needing to interact with something to be a part of it. You're always needing to understand things. Like mindfulness is gone unless mindfulness is something you're selling to people. And it's really difficult. You know, we're talking about like alchemists, right? Like I don't know, like like Trey, you're saying this parasocial relationship. Like we like to look at things ethically and be like, wow, is this artist my friend? Is this YouTube channel an ally? Is this person, you know, a part of the same kind of brain trust that I'm in? And it's like, yo, that like you're critiquing, like there's so many things that you cannot escape from. It's like, yo, like everything is owned by like 20 different corporations. Your ethics of tearing down the alchemist, who is not a political actor, he's just some nigga that made beats and had a lot of black friends. You know what I mean? It was dope. He's just a nigga and you know, he got a lot of black friends. He made a lot of beats. He made a lot of money for people. He's a really dope artist. He's not political, you know what I mean? Like, but the impetus on the neoliberal impulse is that your interaction with politics has to be something that is front facing in your community and must touch all of these elements of your experience in your life. And so you tie yourself to these social media things and you think that your political action is useful by fucking tweeting and tearing people down and stuff. Like real mass action just doesn't work like that. Be kind to people, ruthless to fucking systems. We're all neoliberal subjects and we all fucking suck ass. We all suck. So I don't like, the last time I looked at a YouTube channel was like, is this channel my friend? Like, I just don't fucking care. Like, if I'm watching a channel about making fucking Super Mario video games, I'm not tapped into that person for this broad spectrum. Let me know every aspect about your personality. If you fucking like, jacking off to feet, that's your fucking shit. I'm not supporting you for jacking off to feet. Just, everything is not interconnected like that. But the neoliberal impulse makes you feel like you have to, like we're the main character. It's also that it makes us the main character. It makes us the individualism that this creates is so violent and irrational and strange. But that's the means of production. The economic system is what creates our relationship, the way we interact with objects in society. Technology ain't changing it. It's the way that shit is fucking structured for you to interact with it on the production level, on the means of production level.
Especially now you got like
for this system.
Yeah, especially now you've got like algorithms that are feeding you the ideology. Like you consistently will, like I like this one post and you like it, and then you get a post that's that post but a little bit more extreme, and then slowly you're on the complete other side of the spectrum where you expect it to be at. So it's like that kind of through that happening, on the other side of it is someone who is solidly stuck in the center. And everything they like is just taking them up and down, up and down. They stand in the center. They're seeing people on the other side, and they decide, as this person in the center, that there's some enlightened person who can then decide immediately on an individual level, this person, if we get rid of that person, then we can finally have our utopia. If we get rid of this person, we can finally have our utopia. If we get rid of that person, we can't finally have a utopia. But in actuality, the real way any sort of progress is made is by unifying all those folk. You know what I'm saying? It's not through like that forced alienation that we were talking about earlier on. It's through the exact opposite. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a super interesting thing to see in the lens of hip hop, as we consistently even have fights between folk. You know what I mean? And during the Kendrick Drake beef, everyone was pointing out Drake's politics and shit, and I'm like, since when the fuck was that important? When I've never turned to Drake and been like, oh, I hope Drake says Black Lives Matter on this song. Like, that doesn't impact or bring forward change that's conducive to my life. You know what I'm saying? That's not how that word's used. But like,
you're right though. Yeah, conducive to your life. Yeah.
I think like hip hop at its peak enjoyment, I feel like at least us three, we try to like interact with hip hop in like a communal sense, and that's when like we tend to get like the most out of it. And I feel like that's like dissipating in a way. So I'm trying to think of the word for it. That like we're getting more and more separated from that, and it starts to become like a bunch of individualized products, different bubbles, and like you said with the algorithms, like you start to get enveloped in this world that makes you feel better about yourself, and it's whatever you're consuming is meant to reflect you as a person. And I don't think like most people are ready for can accept the reality where that's not the case. That doesn't have to be possible. You don't have to reflect what you consume, or what you consume doesn't have to reflect you as a person.
And listening, like experiencing things is not a tacit endorsement of them. Just because I listen to and love the No Name album doesn't mean that I'm tacitly endorsing anything Jay Electronica says. It doesn't mean I'm tacitly endorsing anything. But yeah, it's a strange world. And again, this topic is I feel again like I just barely I'm barely beginning to scratch the surface. This is a thing that I would really like to make notes on and have a clear through line. There's so much literature on this, though. It's not a secret thing. Most people just aren't familiar with it because they don't really want you to think about that. And unless even if you go to like a economics 101 type of class, those things are dogmatic and not really there. But neoliberal politics is really the style of the day, and we might be transitioning out of that in a way, but we're also so deeply in the thick of it that we're just not outside of it anywhere close to it yet. Yeah,
Cool.
Bars.
Cool. Yeah,
Bars
that was a whole ass
neoliberalism.
conversation and shit. Oh my god. Yeah, so that's basically all I had to say about that. Trey, do you have anything you'd like to add before we move on to the final topic?
I think Mega put it well.
There's a book by a writer named Lester K. Spence called maybe it's called The Heart of Darkness. Hold on, I read the book years ago. Oh no. It's called Against the Neoliberal Turn in Black Politics. And he's a thinker, a theorist out of Baltimore, and he's a brother. And that book really traces the ways that neoliberalism has really impacted the Black community. And it also it points out how the neoliberal turn has changed things in hip hop even. And that is just one of the aspects of the conversation of neoliberalism. We need to think about modern media now and how we're accessing and how it's changing immediacy. And we need to think about it globally and other ways. But yeah, I think the most important thing for people to understand is that neoliberal doesn't just mean new liberal Democrat. It's not that. It's every single president in our entire lives that's been doing neoliberal fucking economics.
Cool.
And across the globe. One more thing, across the globe.
Hell yeah. To let them know, Mega. Inform these folks. Read. You know how it is. Read theory, nigga.
Yeah.
Word. And that neoliberalism is solved. We did it. Finally. There's no more. Yay.
We just did praxis. Let's go.
Got that shit out of here. You know what I mean? Get that shit out of here. Fuck out of here. What do we look like? All right, hit the like and subscribe. Hit the like, subscribe, share. Join the Patreon, join the Discord. Yeah. Make sure to we allow editing on and remixing of the video, so make your own cuts and send it to us. Hey, hit the like.
Yeah, put music under this if you like the video. Make a flip tape over what was up in the minutes.
Yeah, man. God damn.
Word. All right, so
help, I'm broke. Nigga shit.
Yeah, give us money. Pay me, and then I might pay these guys as well. Yeah, so let's now move on to our third and final topic. Mega, take us there, man. Let us know.
Sure.
Inform the good people.
All right. This is kind of like I didn't really think too much about it, but it was just something that I was listening to some old rap shit. I was thinking about some shows that I've been to recently, and I was just curious, like, where the fuck has the freestyle gone? And I want to be clear when I'm talking about freestyle. I'm talking about general, off of the dome, unrehearsed, live, improvisational dopeness. I haven't been to shows in America for quite a long time, but from what I understand, it doesn't happen as much as it used to. Before, when I was younger, you used to get a tape and there'd be a freestyle on it. You know, there'll be like a track of Merce and Basic MC just rapping. And while it wasn't like the best writing that's ever happened, it was always nice to see how quick they were with that mentality. And I know I also come from the West Coast, where live improv was what you're supposed to do. Don't be in there spitting writtens. Get open. If you're really dope, you could do it off of the head all the time. That's the school of thought I come from. That's how I rap. I don't even write rhymes, but that's how I do it. And there's just not that anymore. All of the on the radar, off top, Hot 97, LA leaker shit, it is all rehearsed and sold to you as this person's ability. Now, I know that there's kind of a weird trajectory of that, but why there's also a reason I think a lot of people are afraid to just be free, because then we realize that they might not be as dope off the head as they talk about being when they're writing their lyrics. I've never heard Kendrick go off of the head. I've never heard Lupe go off of the head. I've never heard Jay Electronica go off of the head. There's just not a lot of that. I've never seen it, is what I'm saying. And I feel like
I can link you some shit.
Yeah, I like.
That's
I
his goat.
love off
Don't you
top.
dare
Yeah,
disrespect.
I love off top premium. You know, I like that approach. I like guys spitting rhythms. I love watching, you know, a great verse over a beat. But I want to see more people unafraid of, you know, the looks. Like we were at the Obi-Wan and New York public housing shit, and while one of the beat makers, while Buddha Monk was performing, there was a cipher about like 7 or 8 of us just bombing. And Obi-Wan's there going off of the head, and I could tell he's going off the head because he's talking about now. You know, you could see the people who were just going off the head, and those type of kind of participatory, intimate moments is where I feel the culture really flourishes. And I would like to see, you know, those weird videos of like Castro and Prim fucking around, and that's just gone anymore. It's so neat and tidy and prepared anytime you see a fucking freestyle nowadays.
And I think a lot of that is, to an extent, a little bit the fault of how music is currently made. You know, there's mad folk who I know personally who have never hit a stage, you know what I mean? Have mad albums out, hella albums out, never hit a stage, never gone outside and used, well, they've gone outside, have never taken their music outside and became used it as a communal vessel. And I think that that's where that freestyling ability is formed, you know what I mean? You don't learn how to freestyle in your bedroom with like as a self-produced artist, you know what I mean? That's not the place where that's not the place. That's not the place where that shit forms, you know what I'm saying? And it's like I think so frequently the avenue as to which someone would begin to do freestyling on the street with their homeboys and is missing, you know what I mean? So as much as it is like, oh, these rappers don't anymore, it's also the medium at which these rappers function, the medium at which these rappers move and create their work doesn't kind of necessitate the freestyling as rap previously used to. That's kind of where I think a lot of that stems from, at least.
Sure.
I think it's that, and the way that the freestyle has like become a vehicle to promote an album. So I think like the more that it's become a promotion, the more it's less about like how dope you can be, and it's how impressive, how much you can improve the viewer to get them to like check out your project. So like at some point, like back on the old radio station shit, I do feel like to some level people were still freestyling, but that gave us moments like fucking Drake with the fucking phone bullshitting for however long he was up there for. And like if you're a label,
Azalea and shit like that.
If you're a label, niggas they trying to sell you some shit. So if you're a label, you can't have shit like that. So you get up there, you rehearse it, you make sure it sounds fucking all good for them, and then you just promote your album at the end. I think that's what it started to become. I do find an appreciation for stuff that I can usually tell is off top these days. Like for LA Leakers, for example, one of my favorite joints is the Vince joint, which can't obviously don't know if the entire thing's freestyled, but like there's a point in that freestyle where he's like fucking referencing recent shit, or he'll pause to think about what he wants to say and pick up where he left off. And I think I do enjoy it more for that reason. But I can't lie, I still get enjoyment from stuff that is not completely off the top.
Sure. I mean, I agree with you. I think they're just two different things. You know what I mean? Like, they're two different things. It's like, you know, I love off top premium, and even the like on the radar shit that Akai did. Right? People were saying that was off the head. I'm not sure.
I thought it was.
But it was. I'm not sure.
I thought it was too. I thought
he pretty nice. He pretty nice. So it could very well be off the head. But like people complained about it. It was like, this shit is whack. It's like, bro, if that's off the head, that is spectacular, and you're a fucking idiot. Like, you know what I mean?
I think it's that effective. Like, oh, this shit's whack.
The Akai solo one is crazy. Like, he's doing all this imagery and shit, and like there's a lot of, that's kind of why I think it's off the top, is because there's a lot of imagery that doesn't quite make sense in the way that I think a lot of his normal stuff does. Like when he says, like, I put my hands around the sphere, and I'm like, what are you what are you talking about? but like, you know how it's so dope to me that even in the improvisational moment, he's still trying to do the acrobatics he normally does, rather than just kind of approaching. Because I've been to freestyles of folk who I listen to their, I mean, even me myself, I can't really freestyle that well. I'll go to a cypher, and it's like when it's an actual improvisational thing, you'll hear someone who on record is doing like this really, really intricate thing. You'll hear them just kind of be like, and then your bitch did, and then and your mom, you know what I mean?
And they got mad filler. They got mad filler bars. And then I grabbed the microphone, and then I grabbed the mic. Yeah, you know, it is like that. Like most of the time, freestyles are not very great. But the thing about them is just the immediacy and the brilliance that happens every once in a while. Every once in a while, somebody grows a single wing and just elevates, and you're like, oh my God, like that's why you nice. You know, like you have to open yourself to that in order to be super dope. Like I have seen cats, you know, so many underground cats that I've, you know, met or rapped with, and it's just like you're dope as you are when you're writing too, you know, like, but I understand that there's just a level below your writing, because that's what it's supposed to be. You're you know what I mean, you're a rap writer. But I just miss like being able to be like, damn, like where are my favorite MCs who I love, and how do they sound freestyling? But all of them, not all of them, but many of them shy away from that being available to the public if they're rapping. Like I've never been to a Wood show. Does Woods just freestyle?
Not that I know of, no.
Shit, fucking Dose One.
Like Castro, you know, does. Like, Castro does.
Of course, Castro does. Castro's the real fucking b-boy sapien. He's a real, like, of course, Castro does.
That's what I'm saying. You
not to say Wood's not, but Castro is, you know, I see a lot eye to eye with Castro. He just recently, I asked Alaska and all of their Discord, I was like, I'll sleep when you're dead or fantastic damage. And Alaska was like,
fandom.
Cancer for cure. And then Zilla was like, I'll sleep when you're dead.
Trying to guess.
And then Castro was like Fandam, and I'm like, that's why, that's, you know what I mean, like, yeah, Fandam. But you know, I'm just saying, like, I feel like there's less with all the intimacy that we get by people posting pictures and sharing their dinners and doing that type of thing. That's a level of intimacy and immediacy and openness that I haven't seen from a lot of artists that I'd really like to hear from. What does Cavalier sound like off the dome? What does, and maybe he does it at the show, but what does, you know, Quelle, or, you know, I've heard Rory, I've rapped with Rory. I rap with Rory, so I know it's ill off, you know, but that's West Coasty.
I think it's really interesting is like, I think in the cases of, you said Cavalier and Quelle, from the way that those guys rap and have performed, I would assume that they do freestyle. It just sounds to me like more so your issue with it is the lack of broadcasting of that.
Or just availability,
in your case, you said like, oh, you rapped with Ferreira, so like you've been there and you've rapped with him in person. But are those freestyles necessarily a thing that's out publicly? You know what I'm saying?
The video. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, that's what I mean. Is I think it's interesting. Is like both freestyling has become more of an intimate thing, and then as a result, I mean, and at least in the circles that we ride in, freestyling has sort of become more of an intimate thing, and as a result has kind of taken itself out of the public sphere, but still to a significant amount, to an amount of the rappers we listen to and enjoy, is still a part of their artistry, just not necessarily something they're portraying to the whole world, I suppose.
I'm curious about that too, because again, I don't go to a lot of, you know, shows in the US. And so a lot of artists I've never seen Cav. I've never seen, you know, I've seen open mic. I've you know, the rapping, but that's him. Like, I just don't like, there's so many rappers that I listen to that there's nothing even close to a freestyle available for them. And that used to not so much be a thing. Like, even on like Revenge of the Robots, the definitive Juke shit that came out before Bazooka Tooth, C-Rays is freestyling, Aesop is freestyling, then Vaster spits a written that everybody already knew because we already had the album. But still, like, Vast and C-Rays, I've rapped with C-Rays. C-Rays is a real MC cat, and it's just like, I miss it. And I feel like the world, like, I'm not like an old man yelling at a cloud, but like,
bring it back.
I just feel like that is an intimate way to show how dope you are. Just, you know, and for cats like me that want it, I don't know. I'll be crying a lot.
I think
I'll be complaining a lot.
Speaking to like the old headism of the convo, I think there's like less of a reverence for like certain hip hop tropes in that vein, like ciphers and shit like that. Like some people don't engage, like some artists don't engage with rap in that way, which is up to them, I guess. But
well, they never been
so
in a cipher.
like for example, like some people are just like,
invited.
you know, I wanna write shit about my feelings, and they don't get to the cipher shit. I find it hype when you do come across it, and it is very few and far in between. So
you
like,
remember the fucking Tyler and Funk Flex joint where he's like me and Flex digging in neck with some
buff classic, bro.
But yo, that's amazing. That's fucking a classic.
And it's interesting because it's like that thing there. He should have expected that. Tyler had been doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The amount of like, I mean, I wasn't really into Old Future as this was happening. The kind of like, it was a little too. I'm not even gonna get into it. They were doing too much. But
oh yeah, I mean,
I did enjoy. Yeah. Well, I was seeing these guys that get on their freestyles and they would just say some outlandish shit that was funny. You know what I mean? They get on their freestyles and their freestyles aren't the typical, oh, let me show you how good I can rap. It's just let me just have some fun right now, and you're gonna see my personality through rap.
Right.
And I think that level of intimacy that you're describing there is kind of the thing that is missing from
I also have to admit, I hate rap and I hate rappers. I was fucking there after 8 Mile when anybody with the 40 ounce, especially the white boys, decided they want to be rappers. And they all were doing the edgy rapper fucking thing. And I hated it. I hate rap. I hate rappers. I hated that shit. But there's a time and a place, and there's a certain kind of connecting energy that happens sometimes that makes freestyling the thing that makes an MC and above anybody who writes. If you've ever heard like a bus driver just bomb and go off, you're like, okay, that's why your music's weird, but that's also why nobody does it like you. Like there's artists like man, I've seen Micah. I've seen so many like MCs who rapped and were just, that's why you're better than everybody. KRS-One. It's like KRS can go off. Supernatural, you might not like his music, but he has the ability to manipulate language and bring things into timelessness now with that shit. And I just miss it. I'm just the old head ism. You know, this isn't this is a mega isms bingo check mark. Like, where's the old stuff in the new day? That's how I feel.
So I have to ask, you crave freestyle so much, what is the reaction if someone fucking shits the bed on a freestyle? What's the reaction? For example, like a rapper, like you said, there's certain artists you like, right? But you haven't like seen them freestyle. Like, what if one of those artists you came across in freestyle and it was just whack as hell? Would that change your opinion of them as like an artist?
I've experienced it too much. I've been around dope rappers, and sometimes you just have a bad day with the bars. This is like, damn, that was pretty weak. I hope you do better next time type of shit, you know? Some days I'm kind of weak, and some days the homies are like, what the fuck? And I'm just like, yeah, that's right. That's fucking right. You know, like, you think because I don't make rap songs, I can't fucking bomb. And it's like, yeah, like, you know, like to me, I only make fun of them if they're famous like that. Like everybody can rap. We've all seen videos of some fucking you know, some ethnically ambiguous, maybe half white dude on the beach rapping about people's clothing as they walk by. Everybody can rap. It's not hard to cat in your hat your way.
It's true.
It's a muscle. Everybody can rap. But I'm talking about the MCs who are stylers. Like, there's a different like flex when you are. I call a lot of these MCs that I love. I call a lot of them jazzmen. It's because it's not just writing and rapping. It is the way that their mind puts together thoughts and ideas. In a great jazzman, an open mic eagle, a Serengeti, a steel riff, like a lot of these cats, a Dose, a K, like they have perfected their instrument with writing so much that it translates to how their thoughts connect words, and that's going to make it whatever. You know, even if Quelle Chris is just like, yeah, I'll be chilling on the side on his side. It's like, yeah,
That's
he's
probably what he
killing
would
it.
do.
He's killing it. You know, like, but it's going to have those particular elements. I'm not looking for some, yo, here's 23 different rap styles in the first. Let's start in 1989. Yo, I hip and hop, and then now let's go to 92. Hey, gangster rap shit. You know, like those type of, everybody can fucking rap, but I want to hear the illest Jasmine stylers come together more and do that more. We could play. You could literally play. It's like if y'all all recording together at the studio, let's hit a freestyle. Let's turn on the mic, turn on the beat, and let's make that the joint. Let's all right, let's freestyle about let's talk about, you know, weightlifting, and then just bomb with that.
Yeah.
What lifting, like anything, like do that. Like I want more creativity. I want more just like, let me see how your brain functions and not 144 characters on Twitter or some shit.
Yeah.
You know,
I think that actually that there is a really interesting part of, like, I think that service merchandise joint that came out was lauded for feeling like that. Not necessarily that it was. It was definitely, there's a lot of planned shit there, but the kind of feel of, oh, these are just three guys just going. It was kind of the
back and forth, you know, left and right.
I think that's a lot of the appeal of that project. And even what that new, like, Micah 9 and Blue have a album coming out with mono and stereo, I think. And there's that one joint, B-Boy on there has a feature on it, and the whole joint is like, it obviously is not freestyled, but the way that there's the chorus is quite minimal. It's just like these three guys just rapping, and that kind of approach to it is, I think, what you're looking for. But you want it to be real. You want it to be real.
Well, I just you know, every once in a while I want to
real rap.
I don't know. I just want to kind of like, it's not even like a real rap thing. It's just like, if everything you do is a propaganda brochure and you have no problem telling me your thoughts on Charlie Kirk or some shit, like, be open and just fucking bomb something, you know, like just do it every once in a while. Where is it at?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm just tapped out, like I'm not at the shows to get it, but like, where is it at? Like, I just don't know. I don't see it anymore.
I mean,
before you used to see it.
I see quite a lot of that type of stuff at the jazz shows I go to. There's a lot like the grime,
live
the
improv,
grime scene, the grime scene and the jazz scene in the UK right now is quite interconnected. So a lot of rappers end up on the stage at the jazz shows I go to, and like, kind of grime in its like styling is very like crowd worky in its way. It like the freestyling of grime is very much like, I'm gonna rap this sentence and then I'm gonna end the thing in the same way. But it's kind of like that kind of communal thing you allow to flourish within that is like so perfectly suited to that style of rap, I think. And it's like something I see and something I'm impressed by. I can't do that yet, but you know, it's like that there is, I think, what you're missing.
You know, we have hip hop shows here, and people get on the mic and we'll rap and we'll do that type of stuff. I'm just like, I know it still happens. Like here in Tokyo, there used to be able to go out on Saturday night at the park down the street from my house. You go out there and there's 15 Japanese MCs with 3 radios, and they're all just rapping, and that's dope. But like, that was before COVID. I don't know if it still happens anymore. I don't see him anymore, but I just want it. Hip hop is better when, to me, hip hop is better as we get closer to the immediacy of it. Of course, albums are great and everything, but like the communal participatory aspects of it, being close to it, not it being mediated through looking at a phone or some shit, is the things that I like. I just want to, Cass is releasing 15 albums, you know, in 2 years. Where's the freestyle? Just put it on there. Just let it be you know what I mean? Just do a little bit of this. Like, that's all I want. That's enough for me. That's enough on that.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, shout out to
Secret Hoes Against.
Secret House Against. Shout out to Secret House Against for hosting the podcast.
Oh, I said Secret Hoes. I said Secret Hoes.
Secret Hoes?
Yeah. Secret Hoes. I thought this was a different show. My bad.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, sorry. No. I mean,
my bad.
Personally, I ain't got no secret hoes.
I just meant I'm a secret hoe.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Are you sneaking?
That's all I meant.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I'll be sneaky. I'll be hoeing. My wife hates me.
Anyways. Shout out to that. Those are 3. That's a good ass conversation, folks. We talked this out. That's crazy. Crazy. Yeah.
It's always fun. You know, the thing is, it doesn't matter what the topic is. We're all going to come at it from a unique perspective, and I think that's always fun and interesting.
Yeah, I had a good ass time. Do you want to get to recommendations and shit? You know what I mean? What we've been on recently? What the fuck have you just pulled out? No, why do you own
war
that?
bonnet?
No, Vega, please. We're gonna get
Get
canceled. Please, don't do it. Don't do it.
No, we just
I'm
had a whole
allowed. My
conversation about
dad is Native
neoliberalism.
American. My dad is Native American. I'm a
Okay,
black Seminole.
Mega got the pass.
I'm a black Seminole. I'm fucking
That's
black
outrageous.
Native American.
That is
Yeah.
outrageous.
We go all the way back. My father, we go all the way back with Chief John Horace. Go for John. Wildcat. Yeah, we real Native.
Yeah,
My tribe don't wear that, so yeah.
I consider buying a kufi for the Jay Elec combo. I was like, should I do it?
You see, I got my African attire on. I'm wearing my Kyrie shows. You know how it is. It's on Cobra on the neck. Oh shit, we mad African.
I got the movie Fresh on my shirt.
Is that part of the movie club? Is that the movie club one?
No, but this is Fresh. This is the joint with Samuel L. Jackson and the chess player. You never seen that one?
I don't watch movies, man.
That's crazy.
Either. I'm trying to watch more.
That's
shit.
crazy.
I'm trying to get into it. I'm trying to get into it, but like genuinely, and like I just don't spend time watching movies. I need to.
Okay.
Gen Z brains are too fried.
That's why. That's a good point.
Jet don't watch movies either. I never can talk movies with Jet. Like
that's why I'm planning on doing this movie club thing with y'all, so I can actually know what a movie is.
That's a new thing. Let's go into let's get out of here and give our recommendations.
Mega, do you want to go first? What you been on?
I actually forgot that we did that, so why don't
never mind. Trey, do you want to go first?
And I'll go.
Damn. Okay. I've been playing. Rohan has won me over. I've been playing this new Nourish by Time album, and this shit's a banger. It's like it's groovy as hell. I'm a rap head. I will inundate myself with rap to death, but it's nice to get a switch up.
Yeah, I listened to.
Am I hearing that? Am I crazy?
Go on.
No, you go ahead.
No, I listened to the 2023 album quite a bit. Erotic probiotic or something. Yeah, I remember listening to that. So a Curiosity Shop put me on that one. Shout out to Sky. Yeah, and that was that record is good. There's definitely a few sounds on there that I'm not too hot on. But I'm on my hip hop shit. Oh, okay, is it? Okay, word. So I should go.
I only listened to the first one once. So this one's great. The fucking like the hooks, they stick like crazy. I was confused because I had something playing in the background, which was this Beware, Beware, Beware beat tape by Quelle Chris. It's like fucking the sequel to Lullabies from Broken Brain.
That's new?
Yeah, new joint that quick. I mean, it's not new, but it's like
I don't know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like old beat.
Came out 2020. Came out like 2019 stuff that Quavalier just put out on his site, I think. Yeah,
but like Quelle production is underrated to me, so I fuck with that. Quelle, Elucid, and Rama. Those are like three rappers that I feel like their beat making is like very underrated to me.
I mean, I'll be thinking about like the Quelle beats that Open Mike Eagle be using. Outstanding production.
Quelle is brilliant musically. Like even the executive producer work that he did
everything, man.
Yeah, even the executive producer work that he did
with Anakin.
Yeah, with the Fly Anakin, like he's just brilliant. With his production is amazing, and his general approach is amazing. Even when it's like sudden death, like yo,
crazy.
What's he doing? What's that? Why is that there?
Sudden death. Yeah. I mean, he's amazing. I'm not too familiar with Rama's production, at least not in the same way that I am with like Elucid or Quelle, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah, whenever you listen,
quite a lot of Joshua's black boxes.
Yeah, on Black Box or just Rama in general, just like check which ones are them on it. It's like they have this very specific style. It's like a hypnotizing quality to it almost that like I haven't heard like any other producer replicate. So I really get that out of their beats. But like next time you play a project, just like tap into the beats real. They're crazy.
Yeah, like Black Box has got some jams on it, but like I think some of my favorites on those are shout out to Chong Wizard and Aaron Magruder. That beat is so beautiful. Yeah. But yeah. Who's next? Kosey, you want to go? Or
I can go. Yeah. What have I been on recently? I mean, I've been watching the fuck out of Dragon Ball. The original Dragon Ball. It's
where you at now?
I'm at episode. I just passed episode. I just got to episode 70. So I've literally just got past the Red Ribbon arc. Like they've just defeated all of them folk. I honestly,
You fuck with
it
General
keeps on
Blue with
fluctuating.
his racist lips.
General Blue's sick as fuck. Shout out to General Blue. I like when they call him a I like when Krillin calls him a flaming homo. That part's fire.
Yo, the old like kind of like questionable shit in Dragon Ball, like showing tits,
Crazy.
stealing panties and
Dude,
shit. Yeah,
genuinely,
a better time.
genuinely, there was like a 20 episode period, like between like episode 13 to like 40. I was really questioning whether I was going to continue watching it. Like, it gets to a level. It gets to a level where I'm just like, no, this can't be the thing that Trey has told me to watch.
That shit,
Trey got me into that
charming,
shit.
it's charming.
If you would have watched it at the same age I did, maybe you would have came to the same kind of search function, like search terms on your Pornhub account that I had. Because I'll be looking for like that Bulma look.
You're like, yeah. What if they look like
I need I need shape shifting pig. Yeah, shape shifting pig. Interracial, like that's all. Yeah.
I don't think they got anything for that, bro. You might get the wrong search.
That's Rule 34, OG. Like that's Rule 34. I'm gonna find
it. You got it, man. You got it. Yeah, but
I'll Google
I've been enjoying it. As a result of me watching Dragon Ball, I wouldn't have been able to get through it without this podcast I've been listening to called Dragon. It's called like Destructive Discourse. They do a podcast every episode. They do like 3 episodes for an episode, and like the getting through those episodes where I hated watching it because Roshi is the worst guy ever would not have happened if it wasn't for the way that they talked about it and then made it kind of more fun. So I'm really enjoying that.
There is a historical context for that type of hermit.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's not like I'm saying like, how could they? It's just like I'm uncomfortable.
This show isn't my ally.
Yeah, exactly. Why isn't Toriyama my friend? Yeah. Exactly. It's just like I'm watching it. I'm uncomfortable. I don't know if I'm really want to go through, but like I know that Dragon Ball Z is legendary, so I just need to trug through this. And I'm excited to see where it goes because I really enjoyed
Dragon Ball is legendary.
Have you seen Z? Did you watch Z?
I haven't. No. I've not seen Z. She was
gonna watch Z. She was gonna skip the Z, but I was like, nah, you gotta watch it.
Trey told me not to watch Z, so I'm gonna watch Dragon Ball and then I'm gonna watch Z, and then I might watch more, but I'm hearing bad things, so we'll figure it out.
I think Z is great. That was kind of like that's my favorite anime of all time. It's got a lot of filler bullshit, but like the kind of core of it, all the way up until the end of the Cell Saga, I think it's the best shonen shit ever.
I mean, even Boo, bro, I mean, I grew up on Dragon Ball too. I remember like my fucking black ass watching Dragon Ball, being like, "Bro, why does my hair move like Goku's, bro? This is fucked up."
Oh yeah, you can for a long time. You long enough, you could definitely, do a little bit of sculpting.
I can do this shit with the locks now.
I used to do a lot to try to make my hair look, you know what I mean, like a little bit more. A little bit more fucking Saiyan than black. Yeah, that's why like my one picture that I sent y'all of me in like the fucking 9th grade homecoming where I had the bad shirt with me. My hair was laid, bro. My shit was laid. I covered up the face.
I'm making that my background.
Was laid, bro.
You look like you look like Malcolm X pre-prison, bro. Like
that's right. Yeah, Sexy Red. No, they didn't call him Sexy Red. They call him Red. Yeah, shout out to Malcolm, my favorite historical person.
Shout out Malcolm. Yeah. All right, Mega, what's your recommendation?
Mine is pretty simple. You guys are familiar with it. The Secret House Discord is going to be continuing our little book club, which is not very organized, but we're all getting together to read this book called "Who Would You Kill to Save the World" by a writer. Yeah, Claire Colebrook, and Claire she's a fairly brilliant kind of theorist, academic writer from the leftist lens, and I believe more of a Marxist position. But the book essentially examines like how post-apocalyptic cinema uses images from the past and present to depict what it means to preserve the world and who is left out of the narrative in rebuilding society. And so it's it's really interesting in that regard. It's a leftist book and it's pretty short. I think it's like maybe 200 pages, and with the citing and the intro, it's probably like 180 pages. I imagine like this is a book I could read in 3 days. Yeah. So, but pages, we're gonna stretch it out for a couple.
Who I have to know, who would you kill to save the world? Don't say anything that'll get me incriminated.
Oh, okay. Son Goku? No, okay. I would beat Son
Don't
Goku.
you dare.
No.
Don't you
No,
dare, man.
I would definitely take out
Netanyahu.
No, I like Netanyahu. That's my dog. I rock with Netanyahu. Don't ever disrespect Netanyahu on any of my social media. Yeah. No.
And Palantir.
You know, like if somebody was like, yo, Kanye West.
You know, I've been
thinking anti-isolationist out here, but we might have to get rid of that guy.
Like I'm particularly like, oh, I just really wish Kanye would die. But I'm thinking like the day Kanye dies, the emotions are gonna be so confusing that day.
Yeah, no, for real.
For you guys, for me,
yeah, but
the day Delroy Lindo dies.
I mean, not even like specifically for me. I'm just like,
gotta think, me and Trey were born the same year College Dropout came out, man. We're little babies out here.
No,
actually, no, like a year after, I think. Yeah, College Dropout came out the year after me and Trey were born.
I was laughing because I was at a company party back in June, and one of the girls, she's like from Chicago. Her name is, she got a name, but she's really nice. And she was just talking to me, and she was like, "Your politics are a little bit strange." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm a fucking, I'm a Marxist." And she's like, "Oh, that's interesting." I was like, "Yeah, if Donald Trump came in his room right now, I'll fucking take him out the game for all of us." And I was just joking, but then I was thinking about how
that's a company meeting, bro.
Oh yeah, I don't give a fuck. I'm in Japan. Like, half of the people there didn't speak English at all. But and also that's like, I've known her for a couple of years. She know I'll be tripping. But I told her that I would kill Donald Trump to save the world.
I'm not included in this.
Do it. And I was just joking. Obviously, I would never do that.
A joke.
Yeah.
We don't condone political
I told her I would do that.
We don't wish no foul shit on anything on earth.
I am against political assassinations. But after this Charlie Kirk thing, I imagine she was sitting around being like, was it mega? Because he got that shit. And I don't agree with that. Like, those are not, I didn't cry about it, but I laughed about it. But I don't like
condone adventurism.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right. Or
have fun with your
acceleration.
memes, man. Like, have fun, but there's certain.
I'm gonna have to cut out the name of the certain president, just to make sure we on point with that.
It's too late, bro.
Yeah. Take that down. Already 24 recording. System, that's like 1 hour 23 recording. We're fine. We got it.
Yeah.
Just nip that in the butt.
Should I put this up and then we go out to the music?
Yeah. I think that'd be cool. Yeah, we out here. We in the big leagues now.
Tell them we gone.
That's what's up with the minutes. See you guys later, man. Peace. So true.
That's right. That's right. That's right.